Aleppo in the medieval period was a city of magnificence and resilience. A thriving metropolis of over 100,000 inhabitants, it stood as one of the most important trading hubs connecting East and West. This was an era of cultural brilliance and architectural splendor. Grand mosques rose with their soaring minarets, and master builders created monuments that would endure for centuries. Thanks to new advanced AI software, we can now recreate these scenes with unprecedented accuracy. By analyzing actual medieval manuscripts, travelers' accounts, and surviving structures, we're able to show how Aleppo likely looked, the architecture, streets, people, and atmosphere of the time, allowing us to step back over 700 years and experience the city as Aleppines once did. This is an extraordinary elevated view of medieval Aleppo from the 13th century. Looking across the ancient city from the heights, you're seeing one of the Islamic world's greatest urban centers, a crossroads where the Silk Road met Mediterranean trade routes. Dominating the skyline is the magnificent Citadel of Aleppo, one of the oldest and largest castles in the world, perched on its massive artificial mound. Rebuilt and fortified by Sultan Ghazi in the late 12th century after withstanding Crusader sieges and earthquakes, this fortress became an impregnable symbol of Ayyubid power. To the right, you can see the Great Mosque of Aleppo, the Umayyad Mosque, with its distinctive square minaret built in 1090. This sacred space, founded in the 8th century, stands as a testament to Aleppo's deep Islamic heritage. The surrounding streets teem with life, caravans arriving with silks from China, spices from India, and precious goods from across 3 continents. Notice the covered souks winding through the old city, some of the longest and most elaborate covered markets in the medieval world. This view captures Aleppo at the height of its medieval prosperity, when it was one of the wealthiest cities in the Levant, a beacon of Islamic civilization. This is the approach to the Citadel, Aleppo's crown jewel, as it appeared in the 13th century. You're standing before what military historians consider one of the most impressive defensive structures ever built. The massive stone bridge rising before you, constructed by Sultan Al-Aziz Uthman in 1213, serves as the only entrance to the fortress. It's a deliberate architectural marvel, 7 arched spans climbing steeply upward, each segment defensible, each turn a potential killing ground for invaders. The imposing gateway at the bridge's end, the Gate of Serpents, features carved dragons and intricate Arabic calligraphy proclaiming the Sultan's might. Within those walls lived not just soldiers but an entire royal court, palaces, mosques, bathhouses, and even a throne room. The citadel withstood Mongol sieges, Crusader attacks, and earthquakes. From this vantage point, defenders could survey every approach to the city. Merchants, pilgrims, and diplomats from Cairo to Baghdad would have stood exactly where you are now, craning their necks at this monument to medieval Islamic military architecture. This is the Great Mosque of Aleppo in the 13th century, one of the largest and oldest mosques in the Islamic world. The elegant courtyard you see here, with its distinctive black and white A-black stonework, has witnessed nearly 500 years of continuous worship and scholarship by this period. Built on the site where the Byzantine Cathedral of St. Helena once stood, the mosque was commissioned by the Umayyad Caliph Sulayman ibn Abd al-Malik in 715 CE. The magnificent square minaret rising 5 stories above the courtyard is a Syrian architectural masterpiece, unique in its design and proportion. Scholars and students gather in the covered arcades surrounding the courtyard, where some of Islam's greatest minds taught theology, law, and philosophy. Notice the geometric patterns in the stonework and the intricate wooden minbar inside. These represent the pinnacle of medieval Islamic craftsmanship. Pilgrims believed this mosque housed a relic, a hair of the Prophet Muhammad, making it a destination for the faithful from across the Muslim world. The Great Mosque wasn't just a place of prayer, it was Aleppo's intellectual heart, a university without walls where knowledge flowed as freely as the waters in its ancient fountains. Next, we arrive at the Khan al-Wazir, one of Aleppo's great caravanserais, the medieval equivalent of a 5-star hotel and business center combined. These magnificent structures were the lifeblood of Silk Road commerce. Merchant caravans arriving from Persia, Anatolia, or the Arabian Peninsula would enter through massive wooden doors into this secure courtyard. On the ground level, you see the stables and storage chambers where camels were unloaded and precious goods, Chinese silk, Indian spices, Persian carpets, were locked away safely. The upper galleries provided accommodation for merchants, with small rooms opening onto the arcaded walkway. Here, deals were negotiated over tea and coffee, contracts were signed, and fortunes changed hands. The courtyard itself served as a marketplace where wholesale trading took place. Aleppo's khans were more than just practical structures, they were architectural statements. The stonework you see here, the arched doorways, the geometric precision, all proclaim the city's sophistication and its central role in global trade. Every major merchant house from Venice to Baghdad maintained agents in these khans. This is where East truly met West, where the medieval world economy hummed with activity. This is the Souk al-Medina, Aleppo's ancient covered marketplace, in its medieval glory. Stretching for over 13 kilometers, this is not just a market, it's a complete commercial ecosystem, the longest covered souk in the medieval world. The vaulted stone ceilings you see above, pierced with small domes letting in shafts of sunlight, create a unique atmosphere where commerce has thrived for over a millennium. Each section of the souk specializes in specific goods. Here in the silk market, merchants display lustrous fabrics from China and Persia. Around the corner lies the spice souk, fragrant with cinnamon, saffron, and cardamom. Further on, you'll find the goldsmith's quarter, where artisans hammer precious metals into jewelry and ceremonial objects. The narrow passageways echo with the calls of vendors, the haggling of buyers, and the songs of craftsmen at work. These souks weren't random, they were carefully organized by guilds, each trade with its own designated area, its own rules, its own centuries-old traditions. Walking these covered streets, a 13th-century merchant from Venice would encounter traders from Mongolia, scholars from Baghdad, and pilgrims from North Africa. This is where the medieval world shopped, gossiped, and made deals that shaped history. This is the residential quarter of medieval Aleppo, where the city's wealthy merchant families lived in elegant courtyard houses. What you're seeing is distinctively Syrian architecture at its finest. These homes turn blank walls to the street for privacy and security, but inside, they open onto lush central courtyards. The courtyard houses you see here feature the traditional liwan, a raised sitting area perfect for catching evening breezes, and intricate wooden mashrabiyah screens that allow residents to observe the street while remaining unseen. Notice the stone construction with decorative A-black patterns, alternating light and dark stone, a signature of Aleppo's medieval architecture. These homes often had fountains in their courtyards, providing cooling and the soothing sound of water. Wealthy families hosted poetry readings, musical performances, and scholarly discussions in these private paradises. The narrow winding streets weren't poor planning, they were deliberate, providing shade and security, creating a labyrinth that defended neighborhoods and kept the summer heat at bay. In an era before air conditioning, Aleppo's architects mastered the art of climate control through design, creating homes that remained cool even in the scorching Syrian summer. This is Bab Antakya, the Antioch Gate, Aleppo's western gateway in the 13th century. This magnificent fortified entrance controlled the main route to the Mediterranean coast and was the first site greeting merchants and pilgrims arriving from Anatolia and the Crusader states. The massive stone towers flanking the gate represent centuries of military engineering. Each modification tells a story of sieges withstood and rebuilt defenses. During the Crusades, this gate witnessed countless armies, from Nur al-Din's forces to Saladin's troops passing through on campaigns. The gate complex includes guard towers, inspection areas, and customs houses where goods entering the city were taxed, filling Aleppo's coffers with revenue from international trade. Above the archway, you can see Arabic inscriptions commemorating the rulers who strengthened these fortifications. Notice the iron-reinforced wooden doors, massive enough to withstand battering rams, designed to be closed and barred at sunset. Standing here in the 13th century, you might encounter a Byzantine merchant caravan, Frankish pilgrims heading to Jerusalem, or Mongol envoys bearing messages from the Khan. This wasn't just a gate, it was a threshold between civilizations, where different worlds met, sometimes in trade, sometimes in conflict, but always with mutual respect for the power and wealth of Aleppo. History has left us precious manuscripts, travelers' accounts, and magnificent structures from cities across the medieval Islamic world. Moments frozen in time, waiting to be brought back to life. So tell us in the comments, which medieval city would you like to see revived next? Your choice could be featured in our next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next journey through time.